How you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, and today I have a deck review video for you. This is obviously, you can see this. This is the Gilded Reverie Lenormand Expanded Edition by Ciro Marchetti, and this is the lovely woman card. And today I'm just gonna do a very quick review, show and tell kind of for this lovely, lovely deck. Uh Hang on one second. I think I need to adjust the height of my headphones. All right. So today you're gonna have a lovely look at this lovely deck. I I fell in love with this deck some time ago, and so I looked for it when it became available on Amazon, because that's like Amazon Prime, man. So I kind of bought it. Look at the back. That's the rider, that's the ring card. And there are some extra cards. There's a guidebook in there. And of course, published by US Games. Now, there's some history there. Apparently, Ciro Marchetti did publish this deck on his own earlier on. The first version apparently is published by him. And then he and US Games sort of got together and published this version. So I have this version. I don't have the earlier version. I was not into Lenormand back then. And this is a very nice sort of box, very sturdy. With that, it has the magnetic sort of thing there, so it sticks. It's good to carry around in your purse. There's this book with it, and it's a pretty decent book. Just quickly, it does talk about a little bit about the history of how this deck happened, what Lenormand is all about and stuff. And then it gets into the card meanings. And since there are several extra cards in this particular deck, it also, see, after cross we have all these extra cards, and we learn also about all these cards. So it's not like you're going to go into it with the extra cards and like, oh my god, what does this mean? No, there's a whole lot here with and a lot of information, combinations with this card, with that card, how does it go, that kind of a thing. Very, very, it's a compact little book, but it has a lot of worthwhile information, so I would totally suggest you go through it. All right. And there's a section here on how to use the extra cards, and in the grand tableau, and some various things. I just use them. I don't really do much extra stuff here, because that's too much work. And then of course there's this simple 9-card spread, which is nothing but simple in that way, because there's a lot of information that you can get from that spread. And then there's a fortune telling spread by Tally Goodwin, and there's a chocolate bar spread by none other than Rana George. Lovely, right? So that's your book. I like how there's the dog card picture on it, because that's so lovely. I love, this card has a very different meaning, right, in in the Lenormand. So I'm just going to put this away. Here we have the cards, and as you may have noticed right away, there's this golden sort of edge here. I believe it's called Gilded. That's probably why it's the Gilded Reverie deck. Right. Sorry, I can be a bumbling fool. Anyway, so here we have the cards, and I'm just going to now do flip through. Is that what it's called? I love how there's the playing card thing right here, and I love how the numbers are big and bold up top, because especially because what I like to do is after each reading I like to arrange the cards back in order and put the deck away. So these, they help me. Even in a grand tableau, the numbers help me a lot. Okay, so enough with the talking, let's begin. We have, this is the rider card, and see, oh, the card back, lovely. I love it. Right, card back. And then we have the clover and the ship It's very cute because this is a flying ship. Very, how do you say, steampunky? Hmm? Like it. And then we have house, which actually has a very fairy tale effect, to be honest. So it's a mix and match. Uh, then we have the tree, and we have the tree of life picture on it, which is really interesting. Clouds. So those who use dark side, light side, there's we have that on the clouds. The snake. Ooh, ready to strike anytime, huh? And then the coffin. It's a sarcophagus. Very, very coffin like. Okay. And look at that. There's a little little cute note there with the bouquet. The sickle or the scythe. The whip or the broom or and what do you birch rod. What do you call it? Whip. I like to call it whip. One word is good. Birds. I like how it's a cute bird feeder. I like this image a lot more over the other one because here we have owls. So see, this is the first alternate image here, and I believe this has become quite a thing. Like most modern Lenormand decks will have an extra. Now, man and woman extra cards are just that's kind of sort of expected now. You should have it, but some decks have the extra bird card. I believe the Under the Roses Lenormand also has an extra child card. So, it depends what the card creator wants to do. So these are the two bird cards here, right? Owls. So sometimes if you want to use birds more as a discussion and a talk that brings in wisdom, if that's the one meaning that sort of brings it up for you, then use this one. But if you want to go traditional and want birds to just be like talking, 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 chatting, 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 and maybe a little arguing, then you go with this one. Okay. Oh, lovely child. I love how there's a lot of these rainbows sprinkled in throughout this deck, various places. I like the rainbows. Then we have fox. Ooh, nice. Bear. I like how he's a not a regular normally how the bear is drawn, but he's more like a polar bear, and you have all the ice and stuff around him. I like that. Because here the bear is all about saving stuff, because that's kind of how bear comes up for me. Someone obviously bear like, and someone strong and very forceful and aggressive, but bear is also about storing and saving. So I like this. Star. Ooh. I love this image, obviously. Now, one thing to bear in mind with this particular deck is that the size of the cards, it is not normally Lenormand cards are smaller in size than your typical tarot cards, but this one is not. Okay, so if you're going to be playing with this and a tarot deck, then you probably know the cards are going to be a similar size. Just think if you want to know that it's important to you. Stork. I love it. Ooh, dog. I like how, we have this such a playful dog here with a leash in his mouth and saying, "Come, let's play. Let's go, let's play." And tower. Sorry. Garden. Mountain. It's beautiful, actually, this mountain. Paths or options. See? and two doors. And each door is a little different. There's a golden light, there's maybe a silver light. So obviously each path leads to something different. Each choice leads to something different. Mice, yum. Why did I say that? Because of all the fruit? There's nothing yum about this. This is a yuck card. You don't want this in any of your readings. But then sometimes you do get those. So, hey. Oh, heart. Ring. Book. There's a whole lot of books. Letter. It's a letter in French. And I think in this book they have given the translation of it. Okay. So now we come to another set of cards. Man cards, actually. Let me put them this way. These are the two man cards in this deck. So if you want a very modern sort of look, then you go with this man. And if you want one of those, romance novel kind of look, man looks, then go with this one. That's, And of course, we have a similar situation going with the woman card. If you want a little bit of a modern touch to it, this is the one you go for. But this is more, wild kind of woman or romance novel cover kind of woman. So both are fine, both are lovely. And lilies. Actually, this is the card that sort of clinched it for me. I looked at the lilies card and I was like, damn, I want this deck. Sun. Beautiful. And moon. See all the phases of the moon also here. Key. I like how in the background they've shown a cage which has been, say, unlocked or opened. And there's a rose in there. Fish. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Anchor. And cross. Now, traditionally, this is kind of where the Lenormand sort of ends in that way. Like, these are the number of cards you would find in a traditional Lenormand deck. But then we have more cards, and I love them because they add a lot of value. They bring in a lot of information. There are several of them actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 extra cards. So let's look at them. All right. The first one is clocks. It talks about time. It talks about bringing a sense of timing into the spread. So depending on where it is placed, before or after which card, we get that sense that, okay, time is going to play a major role, is going to be having a big factor in the occurrence or in the way things are going to play out, especially because in Lenormand everything is all about the other card as well. It's 2 cards read minimally. You have to have 2 cards to start with. So time here brings that time, this card brings the time factor into play. Bridges are all about connections. So especially in a grand tableau, or if you're putting it in a spread, you can see what cards are before and after this card. So you can see what's there's a connection somewhere between these 2 cards. That bridges is all about connection. And even in the grand tableau, I would look at cards above and below it, and maybe diagonally, wherever, all around it. The Bridges card is all about the different connections and the roles that those connections play. And as I said, all the cards that are before and after it, they will bring a lot of interesting information into this reading. Dice is all about risk, right? It's chance, it's luck in a way. It's like the roll of the dice. We'll see what we will see. So it brings that that kind of energy within the spread, within the reading. Masks is lovely because it talks about the various hidden and revealed aspects. See, we have the moon here and we have the sun here, right? The hidden and the revealed stuff that we have. So when you see the mask card, if let's say you're seeing it in a spread somewhere, you would really examine what is being masked and what is being revealed. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, this is a very interesting card to come up. And it can even show, sometimes if you're looking at personalities, if it's near, say, a man card or a woman card, right? You would be like, oh, this man has a lot of masks, or this woman puts on different faces, for different situations. So what you see isn't necessarily what you get, especially when this one is combined with personalities or even the quote cards that are there in your tarot deck. I'm sorry, your Lenormand deck. Oh, tarot. And well, this is like a wishing well, right? That kind of energy. It's a lovely thing. It's where you would find a support. This is where you would find emotional satisfaction. That's what this card kind of comes up for me. Well, the compass. This is all about finding the guidance and the direction, right? Because compass will always point to the north, the needle of the compass. So this card is all about that. The labyrinth or the maze. Now, this is an intense card because when it comes up, it talks about various complicated pathways which might get you lost at some places, but it might also reveal something lovely. If you see, there's this lady waiting here and all these people trying to get to her through that labyrinth. So it's complicated. That's kind of what this is, but it's also a puzzle that needs to be fixed, resolved, figured out. You need to find out. There is a mystery here that needs to be unveiled. And finally, the magnifying glass, right? Look deep into what this card is talking about. Look closely. Examine this. Get more information here, right? And so depending again in the spread, what's before it needs to be examined, and what is after this card could possibly show what that examination might reveal in that sense. So wow, okay, so these are your cards of this very lovely Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck, which I'm going to put right back into the box. There you go. So I hope you liked this video. Please hit the thumbs up button right at the bottom, so I know that you like this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please go right ahead and subscribe. I do all kinds of tarot and Lenormand videos. I love to do readings. So if you have any specific questions that you want me to do a video sort of reading for, if using different spreads and so on, more like a teaching moment, go for it. Put it in the comments or write me a private email, whatever works for you, and I will totally do that. And yep, go right ahead, share this video at in your social media feed, wherever you like. I'm totally all for it, and I will see you again in my next video. So until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now.